Glug, 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 glug.
Wild turkey, rare breed.
This is Fantasy Intervention. Now here to intervene with your fantasy life, Chase Vernon.
What's up, guys? How we doing tonight? Oh man, Bo.
That was much better fadeaway.
Yeah, but I was still trying to talk while this was all happening, and it's not working out. I need to just upload it on YouTube and bring in the video and do it that way. But man, I'm so busy. I'm sitting there and going to work today.
Like work.
Oh, it's a lot of work. Going today. You know, I had a busy night tonight. I'm expected to do some DFS potting, and unfortunately, I was just a little bit too busy at work. We actually had a decent amount of traffic, had some great regulars in the night. It was fun. It was a good time. But then I was like, shit, what am I going to do? Because I did not set up a show sheet. I didn't do any kind of research for this DFS.
Your guy had you. I had you.
Bo had me. Bo had my back. Like, he was ready. He's like, hey, send me this over. I'm going to put in the show notes. I'm ready to rock and roll. We have some DFS that we have to attack. We got to make shit happen. And guess what? That is what happened. I went over your show notes tonight, you know, as you know already. And I couldn't agree more with 90% of your takes, man. It was absolute fire. So I was like, yeah, we got to let everybody know about this. We got to let everybody know what you're thinking. So let's go ahead and kick off the show. But before we do, let's talk about Thrive Fantasy, right? ThriveFantasy.com, where you can actually play DFS type lineups, DFS type plays, but it's actually with player prop bets. So, for example, you know, if you think that Alvin Kamara is going to go over, 50 yards, you can play that bet. And then you just set it in your lineup, you're good to go. But when you actually sign up for Thrive Fantasy and you use promo code CIRCLE, they will actually double whatever you put in. That's right, they'll double. Anywhere from $20 to $50, they will double whatever you put in as long as you use promo code CIRCLE.
That's twice as much as you had before.
Twice as much for literally the same amount that you would have paid for once as much, right? Is that how you say it? Is that how you do it?
It's a little late for math, but yeah, I think that's right.
It is late for math, but guess what? This is DFS. So we're excited, Bo. Go ahead and let everybody know where to find you.
We did the math for you guys when we were awake.
God, man, it's been crazy. I don't even know how I'm awake. But Bo, go ahead and let everybody know where to find you. You know, talk about your hot sauce, whatever you want to drop, and then we will jump into this episode.
At Bo_McBigTime on Twitter. You can find my hot sauce and barbecue rub at hotboxbatch.com. Ooh, look at that taco salad going on. We got the my merch as well as the fantasy intervention merch can be found at veridianglobal.com. Now that's good stuff. That's some high quality threads with our logos on it. Get yourself some stocking stuffers on hotboxbatch.com. Get yourself some good-looking apparel on veridianglobal.com.
Get your gear. Get your gear.
It's December. We're spending money out here.
Yeah. Like, what else would you be doing?
Hopefully winning money so we can spend it.
Oh, yeah, that's part of it. So,
yes.
But what are we expecting with this week? What is happening? What's going on?
It is a wide open slate. We're talking maybe one or two obvious high total games, and the rest are, we don't know. Get your gear. Cooter Doodle knows.
It's a weird schedule.
One of our favorites. Yeah, it's a weird schedule. We have some low scoring over-unders, and we have a couple high scoring over-unders. I think that some of those might actually go way under, and then we might see some sneaky shootouts. So that's what I'm targeting.
All right, so you gave us a little bit of an intro paragraph over there. over on the show sheet. So let's go over exactly what you're talking about on the intro paragraph.
So yeah, it's mainly I'm just looking to take advantage of the way the pricing is laid out for me. I see a lot of great values at the very bottom of the price scale for certain positions, like quarterback, tight end, defense. I don't really have to spend up there. I mean, the top 2 quarterbacks for sure are expensive for the matchups that they have in front of them. They have some tough matchups, and they might very well blow up and break the slate on their own right because they're good. That's why they're expensive. But I don't have to spend that money if I think I'd rather spend up at running back and wide receiver this week, which I'm doing a lot. I'm finding ways to fit in 2 high-dollar running backs and 1 high-dollar wide receiver, or vice versa, because I'm saving money elsewhere and I'm getting extremely good value elsewhere.
All right, so I guess we should actually dive in at this point, right? Like,
Let's
who are we talking about? What are some of these matchups we're actually looking at for this DFS? How the hell are we going to win money? How are some of the people that aren't playing DFS? How are they going to maximize their potential lineups?
So for tournaments especially, that's the only way you're going to make some huge money is playing these big tournaments. This is a great week if you have bankroll to attack a larger entry fee single entry tournament, because they have typically lower pay lines than your big Millie Maker type contests. Your winning score is a lot lower in a more expensive tournament than something that everybody and their grandma is going to be in. So I'm attacking.
Why is this a great week?
It's a great week because everything's wide open and fair. Like, you don't see the sharks in the water like you do with a slate with 5 different games over a 55 expected total. You can find diamonds in the rough this week. And
once
you
again,
can be a Joe and win.
Yeah, once again, this is the type of week that we like to attack. Like, we talked about it before, with Scott, by the way. Scott Simpson over there, DFS monster. With Bo, DFS monster. Like, we sit there, we don't have $4,500 to throw, at thousands of different lineups. That. Like, we don't have that ability to do that. So we're not DFS players necessarily. We are DFS researchers where we'll have 15 to 20 lineups, but we have a limited bankroll. So we have to make sure it counts, right? Like, all those people out there who are sitting there playing DFS, who are just getting DFS, this is the opportunity to make this shit count. Like, this is that time to dive in and to actually have a chance to make some real money. This is the week. We're getting close to the playoffs. Things matter. Like, your plays count. And guess what? It's not like the beginning of the season where we had, like he just mentioned, 8 different totals over 50 points, where you have people spending $4,500 on 300 different lineups minimum. Like, this is that week where you can go out and you can have a chance to win. And I love it, man. This is that week. And I'm disappointed that I didn't get to dive into it like you did, but I cannot wait to learn all the different things that you found out. So let's go ahead and dive into our first matchup, Bo. What do you have? Which game are you attacking in the single entry lineups?
Cleveland at Tennessee is my first targeted game. Yeah. The Browns and the Titans is actually the highest expected total according to Vegas, which surprised me because I don't see it as a big high-scoring game, but I do see it as a game where I can take advantage of some stud running backs. And I'm calling this lineup build that I've been kind of writing about all week. It's called the Dueling Banjos face-off stack, where I put Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb in the same build, because I did the same thing last week, and I kind of felt bad about it. Because I put Nick Chubb and James Robinson in the same lineup last week. I was like, man, I really don't like facing off with running backs because game script can go against you. All kinds of things can go against you. It needs a perfect storm. Well, guess what? James Robinson's a beast, and Nick Chubb's a beast. You get 2 beasts against 2 bad run defenses, and you get fireworks. You get big, long touchdown runs. You get lots of volume from both guys, and you can attack that. And one chalky guy or another chalky guy, you put them both in the same lineup, they're not as chalky.
No, it's mainly because you're gonna have to play, these sleepers and every other occasion. So let's go ahead and see. Let's go through this lineup and figure out exactly where you are attacking in DFS. You already talked about the running backs. Why are we talking about the running backs?
Because neither team can stop the run, and it's Derrick Henry's season. It's cold. Nashville is cold this time of year. the Browns defense and every other defense that's going to play Derrick Henry for the rest of the season, they're going to start making business decisions in the third quarter, even earlier. If you got cold bones and you got 6'3", 250 running at you at 22 miles an hour, you're making business decisions, and I just don't see the Browns slowing him down. And I don't, at the same token,
I can verify. I'm at the same latitude, about the same latitude as, Tennessee over there. And my dick almost fell off the other night. So it is cold. And it's not something that I would want to subject my, any part of my body to. So yeah, it's something that's where I can understand attacking this position. So is there any options in the passing game you're looking at? Like, Kareem Hunt could be interesting. Like what's going on over there?
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's kind of been dealing with a little nagging injury all week. He's going to play. He's always a play. His price is pretty good, but his volume's been down, and it wasn't always injury related. Since Nick Chubb came back, it's been Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt's great. Yeah.
But I mean, all right. So people can't see what's going on if they listen to the podcast. People are making comments about how much I love the cold. Anyways, and Ice Queens. But anyways, it's something that's where like, what about Jarvis Landry up against the Tennessee Titans? Like, how is that looking? Where is that outlook going? Is it possible that we could see Jarvis Landry do what he did last week? We also have like Kadero Hodge, over out there having that. Oh, Kadero Hodge is out. Yeah. See, that's why I came to you. I was like, I need somebody that knows this shit.
I wrote him in as a fade this week, or a play. I can't remember, but it had an asterisk next to him. He has been ruled out. And so Jarvis Landry is exactly the type of player I don't want to chase this week, because his price did go way up as a result of his 31 points last week. He's a good player. He hasn't been good other than 2 weeks this whole season. That was his first double-digit performance since week 4 against Dallas, and that's not good. We're talking about a talented receiver it's priced up this week as a result, and so I'm not going to chase those points this week. Somebody else can do that, and I'll be happy to see him go for a decent game, but that's not a guy I'm targeting this week.
Yeah, he's not going to put up another 30-point game or whatever it was, from the previous week. So, I mean, all right, we talked about the Browns passing side, and there is somebody that I want to bring up towards the tail end of this episode that I think is an absolute steal if Kadero Hodge is out. But let's bring up the Tennessee Titans side of things. Like, is there anybody in the passing game? Like, could you play Corey Davis to see 2 touchdowns? I mean, Denzel Ward has been very spotty. AJ Brown. Oh, okay.
Denzel Ward is also out.
See, once again, thank you very much. I'm the host tonight, guys. If you could not tell, I have no idea what's going on. I've been busy working. So, anyways, is there anybody else that you're looking into that could be an option on this passing game outside of maybe Corey Davis?
Yeah, and of course, AJ Brown is a great play because he's got the upside for a tournament. He's expensive. $7,600 for AJ Brown is a little bit rich for my blood. I'm gonna have to throw him in a couple lineups because he's so good. But I'm gonna be looking at Anthony Ferkser at tight end. That's somebody who is priced down at the very minimum, and the only other time we saw Jonnu Smith miss significant time, Ferkser scored 28 fantasy points on DK.
That's so ridiculous.
Jonnu Smith is out. He's been ruled out officially. So it's going to be Ferkser, and it's going to be Jeff Swaim, who actually is from my same hometown in Chico, California. I actually worked with Jeff Swaim's older brother.
Way to fucking name drop, Bo.
Yeah, I have a few of them, and I'm going to use every little. There's only like 4 of them in the whole league, and that I have like personal experience with. One's Aaron Rodgers, of course, from Chico, and then Jeff Swaim is from Chico. So there's a couple guys that I've actually met in person, and so I'm going to name drop those guys. Yeah, so Jeff Swaim might break some hearts if you're playing a lot of Ferkser. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little Jeff Swaim just in case he has a 2 for 4 and 2 touchdown kind of day.
What, the former Cowboy, the former what else
Jaguar,
was he?
Yeah.
Jaguar. God, man, he's supposed to be going off forever, but he hasn't done anything yet. I'm interested to see if he can do something for Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee loves to use the tight end position. Is there anybody else that you're looking at? Any kind of deep flyer? I mean, who's that deep threat over there that's been going off lately? He's a wide receiver. He's not been going off, I should say, but he's like a gadget player.
Khalif Raymond.
He's one of Brenton, I think, or something like that was another one.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Not on my radar.
You're not interested. Okay, cool.
Not on my radar.
Not worth a flyer. All right. So we have that game going off most likely, and this is a game that I am attacking the run game, or I'm attacking the running back position, like you said. Could you attack, a Baker Mayfield? Could you attack Ryan Tannehill in this game?
I'd rather attack Tannehill. He's a really good price, under $6K. Mayfield is another guy I don't want to chase. He's only had 2 or 3 games over even 15 fantasy points, and I know some of that was weather related, but he hasn't looked sharp, and they've been really trying to take the ball out of his hands. They run the ball a ton. Stefanski really does not want his quarterback to do anything more than manage the game. So I think that's what they're going to try to do, is they're going to try to keep Tennessee's offense off the field as much as possible. So I'd rather have Tannehill because he has a bigger passing upside. Good job, Steph. I'm so proud of you, Steph.
Oh my God. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. All right.
She was yelling at me earlier today, so this is a nice change.
I didn't even get to catch up with our group chat, guys. Go check out.
It's epic.
Join our circle _ to be part of our circle, guys. Make sure you guys can check that out.
That group chat is like Homer's Odyssey. It's so many messages.
And by the way, we're always looking for new talent. If you guys like writing, if you guys like talking fantasy football, come at me. At me, bro. FF_intervention. Make sure you guys at me, and we'll see if we can find a spot for you on the team. I'm always open to add team members. All right, so let's talk about this next game. Let's get off this game because I'm already getting bored myself. Let's talk about Jacksonville and Minnesota and how Colin Johnson is probably going to be the best wide receiver in 2021. But you can start this out by talking about him, right?
Colin Johnson was a great play last week. And I wrote about him earlier in the week. I really like him because he's a big target, but he's DJ Chark's backup, and DJ Chark is back in the fray this week. So Colin Johnson, I might toss him in a couple lineups just to see if he might score another touchdown. But DJ Chark's a play because he's priced way down at $5,400 for his talent. You can also go after Keelan Cole.
I'm sorry, I'm reading this group chat.
I'm not reading it for a good reason.
All right, wait. Keelan Cole. All right, give me the laydown. What's going on with Keelan Cole? Why do you like Keelan Cole this week?
Keelan Cole is the only Jaguars receiver this season to exceed 15 fantasy points in 4 separate weeks. So we're looking at a guy who has extreme upside in a tournament, and he's going against a slot corner. I forget his name. You know his name, Chase, for the Vikings that just can't cover anybody.
So Gladney, right? Gladney.
Gladney.
He's actually playing on the outside. Once they go to nickel, he goes into the slot. It's a very
inexperienced.
It's not unique, but it's very weird to put a rookie in that position where he has to learn how to cover 2 different positions.
Especially against an experienced receiver. He's not amazing, but Keelan Cole's a professional wide receiver. He's had his days, and I think this could be a good day for him, especially at his price at $3,800. That's anything sub 4 at wide receiver. You're looking for those guys that have established roles. That way you have a safe floor and you have upside built in. And Jay knows that I love Laviska Shenault. I'm an all-time, I watch a lot of Pac-12 football. He lit up the Pac-12, including my Ducks for a couple of years. Shenault's another guy that you can throw a nice pointy dart for, along with Colin Johnson. I just haven't seen Laviska's upside this season because they haven't used him correctly. He's a great
He's very much.
He's very much like Deebo Samuel, very much like A.J. Brown, where he's just a freak athlete and you get the ball in his hands and he breaks tackles and makes big plays, but they haven't given him enough run or enough touches. And so far, I want to see it. I really do. And I always have one lineup at least where he goes in and he's in it. So I'm hoping for it.
But I don't know if this is like the big time week for it, to be honest with you. Keelan Cole is just dominating those slot snaps. So, all right, let's talk about Colin Johnson again being the wide receiver 1 on this week. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's going to be tough for him to see. We already talked about how he's going to see reduced snaps. He plays that DJ Chark, that Chris Conley role. We don't know what's going to go on with the health of that position. I still want to play him though up against Minnesota.
Yeah, you love yourself some Colin Johnson, and I don't hate him, so I'll allow it.
I spent like 3 hours today looking for a picture to send to Bob to make a
Can't
cartoon
find
out of,
it.
and I can't find it. Like, I'm not even like 3 hours might even be an underestimate of the amount of time I spent.
Oh my
So
god.
dude, it was amazing. Like all right. So he's catching a ball. He's 6'7", by the way, right? Like 6'6",
Yeah.
6'7". He's
Real
catching a ball
tall.
over top of a guy. Like he's reaching over. And he's full air. Like his feet are above the guy's waist. The other guy's jumping. He's still above him, and he's catching over top. Meanwhile, there's a lightning strike and a palm tree in the background. Like, could you ask for
Damn.
a better fucking picture? And it's all legit too. It was really sick.
So basically, he's a weeping willow at wide receiver. He's just mossing people no matter how tall they are.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that the defensive back was undrafted and probably practice squad guy, but it was a really cool picture. Anyways,
That's all
Colin
you need.
Johnson's wide receiver 1 on the season. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump into another game. By the way,
No, you want to talk about the Vikings?
oh, I was like, oh, by the way, wait, I forgot about a team. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the Vikings side of things because the Vikings offense is ever stackable.
Very
No,
stackable.
I'm just kidding. I'm taking your lines.
That's
What's
okay.
up, man? Like, what's going on with the Vikings offense? Like, what are we looking at?
Play all of them. Play all of those guys. You can play all 4 of them, all 4 of the main guys if you want in one lineup. I'm not afraid
What about
of that.
like Adam Thielen?
Love Adam Thielen.
But he's old.
Name one of those 4 studs. We're talking Cousins. We're talking Cook. We're talking Thielen and Jefferson. If you name any of those 4 guys this week, I'm playing them.
All together in the same lot. So a quad stack has actually never made
stack.
A quad stack's never made a Millie Maker lineup. Ever.
Watch me.
Okay. All right.
And
what about Kyle Rudolph?
Why not? I don't like his upside, but yeah.
What's a cinquent? Like how? Like a quintet? I don't even know how to say it. Like 5 sack? Like which one? Like if you had to pick 3, right? Which ones would you pick, or would you just do a combination of Kirk Cousins and then one of the wide receivers? Like what are you thinking?
You can make all 4 unique lineups with 3 of those guys. I'm gonna have that quad stack in one of them and run it back with James Robinson or something like that. That's something this game is going to shoot. I just have a feeling that we're going to see a 60-point total, and we're going to see the Vikings probably end up winning the game, even though I do have a feeling the Jags might have a chance of pulling off the upset here. Mike Glennon's shown himself as a capable passer. The Vikings have shown themselves to not be able to slow any capable passers down. And James Robinson's a stud. You can't go away from him. Dalvin Cook's a stud. His ankle seems to be fine. I just think that this game is going to be fireworks all over the field. So play all the guys.
Man, that's tough for me because honestly, like I thought this might actually be a week where you fade Dalvin Cook. I mean, we've seen injury issues in the past hinder his ability to stay on the field because of the coaching staff, not necessarily him. I mean, his own injuries have obviously, hindered his ability to stay on the field. But I mean, like, could this be an Alexander Madison week? I feel like it could.
Madison is also out.
I mean, a Boone week?
Yes. It could very well be a Boone mop-up week where Cook gets a day. Like, let's say the Vikings get off to a big lead early, which can happen for sure. You can definitely see Cook kind of take a seat and take a half a week rest and give way to Mike Boone, I think he's much better than Alexander Madison as a back to myself.
I do too.
And pretty much anybody who watches the Vikings play notices that Alexander Madison is not very good and Mike Boone is slightly better. But Dalvin Cook is so much better than Alexander Madison that you would hope that if Cook was hurt, that the backup would be Mike Boone. And this week it is. So yeah, if you're taking a minimum price shot on a running back, Mike Boone's one of the best ones out there.
Dude, I know this is like a last minute like DFS thing because I didn't have time today, but I need to make sure that I get with Nate or Steph and figure out these injuries before we go live. So I'm gonna make a complete jackass of myself.
We're up to 3.
God, man, that's crazy. But no, so I mean, they could end up holding back like we've seen in the past, like with Dalvin Cook, like they've actually held him out of snaps and they prevented him from being on the field because they don't want to wear him down. He just signed a brand new contract. He's on the team now for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Like there is a big doubt in my mind that Dalvin Cook is actually a play, which is why I like Mike Boone for this matchup. Now, is there anybody else we need to cover in this matchup? Is there somebody that you could see, possibly going off for a couple of touchdowns? Anybody that stands out?
No, do you?
Nope. Outside of Colin Johnson, of course.
Yeah, Colin Johnson, yeah. Did you know he's 6'7"?
He's like 7'2" actually, but they won't put that on the paper.
Well, yeah, you can't get a contract if you're going to be labeled as a tight end or an offensive lineman the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, Colin Johnson is probably like Kevin Durant, where he was listed as 6'7" for all those years, and turns out he's almost 7 feet tall.
The funniest thing is his weight, man. He's just like Kevin Durant when it comes to his weight. He is so skinny.
So Kevin Durant does not like the nickname the Slim Reaper. Maybe we just pass it on to Ellen. Yeah. Maybe we pass it on. Yes.
Bro, I need to write that down. I don't have.
You need to contact Colin's people.
Slim Reaper. Credit goes to Bo.
Check,
all right,
mate.
Done. All right, I'm contacting these people later this week. Let's go on to another lineup. We have probably my favorite one that you put on this sheet. Excuse me. We're talking about the sheet. The Indianapolis Colts up against Houston. Over under 50 points. Which one's favored by 3.5? Indy?
I think Indy, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Why isn't Indy favored by more?
I don't know, because Houston's going to have a lot of trouble moving the ball without Will Fuller. He's the catalyst for that whole passing
Don't
game.
forget the best defensive player on the team is out too with the same exact suspension. Roby. So
Roby.
Yeah, like that blows my mind. So like, what are we looking at here? Like, who are we playing? Like, where do you want to attack? Is this a Hines game? Is it
This is more likely to be a Taylor game, in my opinion, because Houston's run defense in a traditional fashion is atrocious. It's so bad. They haven't stopped a running back between the tackles all season. Even Damian Harris gashed them for 7 yards a carry. It is a JT week if Frank Reich will have it that way. You can't count out Nyheim Hines in a PPR format. So, I mean, I like both of them, but I love the $5,700 price tag on JT. That's extremely low for somebody of his caliber and upside. So I'll be playing some JT this week. I'll also be playing a lot of Michael Pittman Jr. this week. He was a good call.
Who was that?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Wait, say his name one more time. Sorry, I'm getting a little hard. Oh, wait.
I know that was your boy last week that I actually pivoted off of to Mike Williams, thankfully. But this week he's even cheaper this week at 4,900.
9 freaking targets. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he got thrown behind about 6 times.
Oh, it's so bad. And then the one where he was open in the red zone, it blew my mind. Like, he had the potential. Philip, what are you doing?
Sidearming it. No, this is the week because Houston, if their run defense is bad, their pass defense is going to be terrible without Roby in there. Michael Pittman Jr. is explosive. He's the alpha receiver over Hilton nowadays. This is
last week.
I know, but this is the week.
This is the week.
I don't think Hilton didn't go off. He got a touchdown and it saved him.
That one 50-yard pass was absolutely tremendous.
That was a dime.
Oh my God. I was so mad. I was so frustrated because Pittman can't catch anything. And then meanwhile, he just throws a lob up there. It's like a jump ball to T.Y. Why would you throw a jump ball to T.Y. on? Either way, you still got the touchdown. All right. You're talking Taylor over Nyheim Hines, correct?
Yes, I am. Just because of the style of the defense, Houston's defense is undersized. They are pretty fast, so I think they probably do a better job of bottling up Nyheim Hines, but he's still a play. He's a cash play for sure.
I'm very, very intrigued going forward, with a stack, actually, because, by the way, even though Phillip Rivers has been really, really bad, he's actually been really good for fantasy purposes. I mean, he's a QB1, right?
Yes, he's like QB 10 or 11. That's solid. And this is a week for a stack for Phillip Rivers if there ever was one.
But you could go contrarian, right? You could go Phillip Rivers, you could go Pittman, and then you could go Jonathan Taylor. I just got hard.
Yeah, or Trey Burton again. Trey Burton back-to-back weeks is under 30. He's 3,500 this week. He's only 3,100 last week when I played him everywhere. I might double down on Trey Burton because he's the red zone guy. That's easy money at tight end. The one position you can't peg down. All you have to do is play Trey Burton, and you can win.
I won with Trey Burton last week. He's at 59. Rivers is at 5,900, people. 59.
Seriously. That's a stackable asset right there, baby.
Oh my God.
So
That's
Rivers
crazy.
59. So check this out. You had the stack, right? Rivers 59, JT 57, Pittman 49.
All
Or
right,
you could vary it with Burton at 35.
Rivers is above Jared Goff, which I love that stack.
Yeah.
Or I love Jared Goff, and I like
Mhm.
Derek Carr to redeem himself. But Rivers is $100 above Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Cam Newton. He's $200 above Jameis Winston. Like, what the hell is going on?
Jameis hasn't even played.
Gardner Minshew is already like he's $300 more than Gar. Oh my God, this is crazy. Philip Rivers is an absolute must go.
Yeah.
You talked about playing 4 people from one team.
This might be another one.
Dude, I'm getting excited. I normally
and think about the running back on this game too. I mean, Houston's got a lot of. I mean, they have Brandon Cooks. I mean, he's not in a great matchup against Indy's secondary, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who's got the whole show to himself now. I mean, think about Brandon Cooks. Nobody's gonna have Brandon Cooks. I mean, maybe 5 to 7% ownership this week.
You think?
Maybe.
God, man,
if it's under 10,
sexier. What about Isaiah?
If it's under 10, yeah, Isaiah Coulter, yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit because I can see that.
He's down there at the bottom.
Is there anybody else that you want to attack in this matchup?
A lot of people keep saying Kiki Kute. There's another name drop. I know his cousin. I worked with Kiki Kute's cousin's wife. Yeah.
Are they actual cousins?
Yes.
Okay.
Same last name and everything. So they pronounce their last name Kute, not Kuti.
Yeah, I think they're from New Orleans or something, to be honest.
They're Creole.
Kute. Yeah, when people say Kuti, like I'm like, yeah, that's how I say it too.
Or cutie or QT, like the 2 letters. I'm like, no, it's Kute. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's French. Look it up, man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
right,
Kiki Kute is okay for cash
interesting.
games. Cash games, I would say he's a safe play because he's a reliable slot guy.
Dude, how many receptions is Cook gonna have this week? 12
receptions?
Yeah,
I would say 8 to 10.
Yeah,
but his A dot's really deep. So I mean,
I'm thinking it's gonna change up this week. I really do.
You think you're just gonna go more mid range at Brandon Cooks?
They're gonna redesign his whole play calling. But that makes the tight end position interesting. So what about Akins?
So so reportedly they're moving Akins to more of a slot role. So when they go 4 wide, you'll have Kute in the slot with Akins in the other slot. They're going to run a lot of 4 wides, which is surprising to me since they just lost their X receiver.
They just lost all the receivers. They lost Stills, they lost Cobb, and they lost
Stills.
Fuller.
Cobb's on the IR. Fuller suspended for roiding up to keep his hamstrings intact. But yeah, they're going to run out a lot of 4 wide, 3 wide. Akins is going to see some slot work too.
Very similar to Dana Arnold last year, not this year, but last year.
Yes.
What are the chances that Akins finishes up as like a top 5 tight end to finish out the season? I think it's actually pretty high.
Their schedule's pretty brutal, so I would bet against that.
But Akins is a different animal. Like they're going to turn into the Eagles, but with better outside options.
And Watson's better than Wentz. Yeah, I could see it. I don't know that Akins is really that good. He's a good athlete, but we're not talking about offense that's designed to go to the tight end in any stretch. And they're an interim coach. I don't think they're in the position to redesign anything midstream.
Well, Romeo Cano likes to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, they got DJ back this week, the David Johnson.
So are you playing a wide receiver?
Yeah. I'd probably play.
I mean, I'm sorry. Are you playing a running back? I apologize. Are you playing a running back?
No, not against that defense. That defense is death to running back, death to tight end. They're getting beat deep, which makes Cooks an appealing option. They're getting beat deep, which gives Coulter a little bit of life in my book. We'll talk about more about Coulter later. But yeah, it's just for me the Houston side is kind of like your game stack run back. If we're thinking that the Colts are going to have multiple offensive options that are going to have big upside this week.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into our next segment. But before we do, if you guys do play in regular season leagues, make sure you spend some of your money that you win off of our DFS episodes on Trophy Smack. TrophySmack.com. Use promo code CIRCLE and you actually get a free $60 ring with that. So whether you want to use that ring to bitch smack people across the face that you beat, in the championship game, or do you want to give it to the loser? That's up to you. Make sure you guys visit TrophySmack.com and use promo code CIRCLE. When you order a trophy, you actually get a free ring as well. That ring is valued at $60.
I'm going to order one with the orange jewels so I can punch people like in Ace Ventura Pet Detective and steal Snowflake.
Oh my God, I love that. Absolutely love that. Guys, their trophies are so customizable. It's really cool the stuff you can do with their shit. I love it. I was on Trophy Smack way before they became a sponsor, so I love Trophy Smack. Their commercials are the best. They have the best commercials in the whole game.
Funny.
They're hilarious. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's jump into your, sleepers, flyers, your obvious picks. Is there anybody that stands out to you that you want to play this week that we didn't talk about?
There's a couple here. We're talking David Moore. I mean, we're talking it's something that should be obvious. He's the wide receiver 3 on a very explosive passing offense with Seahawks. David Moore has been great this season. He has 5 touchdowns. So whenever you're playing your DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, he's the guy that you curse out loud when he scores the touchdowns. But we're going against a pretty weak corner in the slot for Seattle as well. So I like David Moore at 3,800 this week. He's a great play, and it should be obvious.
Yeah, it's tough. David Moore, I've been on him almost every single week. I've been the David Moore train. I have been pumping him up with hype left and right.
He's like your Marvin Jones guy.
Well, Marvin Jones, I know when to play him. It's safe. With David Moore, I don't know when to play him. There's certain times that I attack Marvin Jones, and he hasn't been brought up, by the way. I brought him up in 2 weeks. Marvin Jones, that is. I haven't. Okay, it's been at least 10 days. Anyways.
In 7 days.
Anyways, I'm not hyping him up this week or anything,
No, I wouldn't.
With their matchup. Although he does have Jalen Johnson, so it makes you want to a little bit. That's how you actually beat the Bears. You beat them up against Jalen Johnson. So it makes sense. I didn't even think about it up until just now when you mentioned it. Marvin Jones Jr., sleeper. All right, so anyways.
No, this is the week to attack David Moore, in case you were wondering.
It makes me very curious about the situation, but I can understand that. Is there somebody that you're looking towards that makes me more confident in the wide receiver position? If I go to the Nick Chubb, if I go to the Derrick Henry, and I'm dude, this guy has a smash play. This is an absolute this is stupid. This should be a freebie. This should be the bonus spot.
Man, I don't know. Keelan Cole's one of them. DJ Chark is one of them.
Oh, Colin Johnson. Okay, gotcha.
Colin Johnson, yeah.
No,
DJ Chark. DJ Chark is the starter over Colin Johnson this week.
What about Mike Williams? Or
Mike
Gaskin?
Williams.
What about Gaskin? Gaskin's.
You told me wide receiver. Wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mike Williams is a great price again. The way to beat the Patriots is down the field. Their safeties and corners are not very athletic. They're great ball skill guys, but they get burned. They've given up so many deep passes this season. And guess what? That's how the Chargers win. They've been dropping. Herbert's been dropping bombs all season. He's got the prettiest deep ball for a rookie I've ever seen.
Does Mike Williams ever have a catch that doesn't look like it belongs in the top 10?
No, because he does it no matter what. You could hit that guy right between the 8 and the 1, and he's going to drop it. But
he would do a backflip and he'd catch it mid backflip.
If he had time to backflip, he would definitely catch it. Or if there's a guy pulling his jersey down with one hand down his pants, he would still catch it. If Herbert threw it 4 yards out of bounds, yeah. If Herbert threw it 4 yards out of bounds and Mike Williams had to go get a Gatorade, he would still catch it. But if it's right between the 8 and the 1, Mike Williams is going to do it.
He'd do hardcore parkour off the table.
Parkour.
Do a backflip off the table. All right, so with Mike Williams, I think that's a great pick. But what about Guyton? Isn't that a smash play?
Guyton. I don't know about smash, but he's definitely another deep pass target for Justin Herbert. And so at 3,100, you could do a lot worse than Jalen Guyton. He's had flashes this year all season. He's a surprise flash every time he does it. This might not be that surprising to see him do it to the Patriots.
I could see that happening. I could see it being a smash play. All right. So anybody else that you want to bring up? I mean, we talked about Gaskin, who's on the show sheet over there. He's not obviously a wide receiver, but he plays like one sometimes. Is he a smash play for you?
No, but he's a great play. He's a solid play. I would play in cash a lot. Now that he's off the injury report, the volume's going his way. Salvon Ahmed's been a little bit banged up the last couple of weeks. They're not going to turn to Patrick Laird or Matt Breida or whoever the hell else they have at running back. They've been waiting for this to happen, for Gaskin to come back.
Dude, they have Dwayne. They have Washington, so
Dwayne Washington, yeah, he's awesome, right? Yeah. So or DeAndre Washington, right?
DeAndre.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, he's irrelevant. Myles Gaskin is a great cash play because he's going to get plenty of carries. A little bit of passing upside too. I like it.
What about? Let's bring up. I don't know. Let's bring up Firsker again. Like Swaim. Like which one do you like more in these matchups?
I like Firkser more. He's. When they're the same price, you can't just load up all on one guy like that. But I'm gonna throw in a couple Jeff Swaims just to anti-tilt myself when he's the one that scores the touchdowns in the red zone. But I mean, with the passing volume to the tight end in Tennessee is really high, and without Jonnu, they're going to have to find Firkser, and I don't think the Browns really have anybody that can match up with him or keep him away from being open because they're going to be worried about AJ Brown. They're going to be worried about Derrick Henry. It's got to come down to Tannehill's got to have a dump off option, and it's usually the tight end.
All right. I think we covered most of the other people. Is there anybody that you want to talk about before I bring up my last guy? Then we're going to go ahead and build a lineup.
The Jets defense.
All right, bring it up.
2,100. Yes, they're terrible. Everybody's watched them play, or nobody wants to watch them play, but the Jets defense is atrocious. They're 2,100. The last 2 weeks, they've hit 7 and 8 points, which would easily hit 3x value. This week, they're sacking the quarterback, which is surprising. They're forcing turnovers, which is surprising. I'm not saying they're going to hold the Raiders under 30 points. That wouldn't be prudent for me to predict that. But the way Derek Carr has been playing lately, I'm not leaving it out of the realm of possibility for me to be able to spend up as much as possible at every other position by putting the Jets in there and just hoping for some sacks and maybe a pick or a fumble and calling it good at 7 or 8 points.
Take that 100%. You know what's funny is you went to your garage because your wife is having friends over, right?
Yeah, and you can still hear them.
Oh my God, they are so loud. It's okay. Like I'm not worried about it.
It's not as loud as if I was in there.
Thank God you decided to go to the garage. That's what I was about to go to. Thank God you are freezing your ass off right now and doing this for the people. You're doing it for everybody else.
Making you money, baby.
Well, no, like you're making everybody else money, not me.
Right. I'm talking to you.
I know, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, guys, like,
I love you.
Like this dude has made sacrifices, and he is in the middle of pretty much like the most freezing place in the entire world. I think that they call it California, and he's literally in like probably negative temperatures, and yet he's still there, and he's doing shit out of his garage. Big shout out to Bo. Let's go ahead and talk about my last guy, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who showed out a few weeks ago. Right? Like he ended up going off on the final drive of the game, had a couple of deep passes. We talked about Kadero Hodge being out this week, which means that guess what? Donovan Peoples-Jones could see some snaps. Is he a guy that you might actually be in the plane, like as a flyer, as a dart throw?
Why the hell not? I like DPJ. I got him for free in a couple of dynasty leagues. I like the kid as an athlete. Very underappreciated. His combine wasn't the best, but he's a great wide receiver.
What are the combine? He set records for jumping.
Yeah, jumping, not catching, not running routes, not doing any of the things that are
set
important.
Records at the combine for catching.
Yeah, Colin Johnson set records for height. I guess you can do. We're talking about a guy who's he's a jump ball receiver. He's a 50-50 guy. And if Baker Mayfield is willing to take some shots, yeah, why not? He's down there at the bottom of the barrel, so go for it. I mean, I'm not if you're looking at a high scoring game like Vegas is predicting, then you kind of would be dumb to not throw a dart at Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Dude, I'm watching this video that Brad just posted about kangaroos, and it's scary. All right, so let's go ahead and let's build this lineup. Let's figure out exactly where we want to go with this one.
I think you want
Sorry.
Phillip Rivers in there.
I mean, do we want to go with Phil Rivers? Like, is this a guy that we're gravitating towards?
Well, it's guy I'm gravitating kind of towards. I have him in a couple builds. The guy I'm playing the most of between spinning up and spinning down is Mike Glennon at 4,800. Easy, free square value. Gives me all the money in the world to spend on running back and wide receiver.
Wait, you want to go with Glennon?
I've been going with Glennon. You don't have to.
No, but like we're trying to build a lineup together, and you want me to put Glennon in there?
I don't want you to do anything you don't want to.
No, we're gonna build this together. Let's make sure that
So name your top three quarterbacks that you're playing this week.
Derek Carr, Jared Goff, and Philip Rivers outside of the chalk.
Goff.
Okay, so you really hate, you're somebody that is not a huge fan of the Philip Rivers pick, huh?
I didn't say that.
Well, you like Goff a lot. You didn't bring up Goff throughout the entire episode.
He was in my rebounders in my episode in my article. So yeah, that's he's on the board for sure. Rivers is just a good value. I mean, if you're looking to stack, which we are, Rivers is good. Goff is very good because we're talking about the 30th ranked secondary in the league with Arizona, and he's got some weapons around him. And
the wide receiver Byron Murphy, the cornerback in the slot, he started out the season really hot, but he kind of sucked over the past 2 weeks.
Plus, you have Drake Kirkpatrick and Patrick Peterson's good at defending your short range big wide receivers that can't burn him, but he's been burned by speed. And I mean,
Robert Woods. I mean, is Robert Woods the player? Do you want to go Cooper Kupp?
Well, I mean, I do have a couple builds where I double stacked with both of them because they're both both receivers and Goff are underpriced this week. So there is a window there to spend down on both of them. I believe Woods is only 5,900, which is insane.
So I guess we're going double stack in divisional matchup. That's ballsy. But we can go there. We can go that route.
Well, which guy do you like better? Do you have a lean?
So
do you have a lean?
My big fear is the fact that they take the ball out of Jared Goff's hands. And this is a defensive matchup that completely dominates on both sides. I think this could be the lowest scoring game of the week, and I'm not kidding you. Not only are we dealing with a bum shoulder from Kyler Murray, we're also dealing with a quarterback who's thrown 6 interceptions or something like that, or 6 turnovers over the past 4 games. So Jared Goff actually scares me tremendously. Now I can understand why you're off him, but he does have a sexy matchup. With that being said, I'd rather just go with a single stack in this one and try and find value in other places because we know that.
I prefer Kupp in that case.
What's up?
I prefer Kupp in that case.
Okay, let's go with the single stack because I don't know that Jared Goff is going to pass enough to actually have value to support 2 wide receivers.
Because actually, in my Picantics article that I wrote today, I predicted that this would be the highest total of the week.
Well, that's a hot take. That's a
very hot take.
I mean,
Cardinals can't stop the pass. They do stop the run. They're top 10. They're number 6 against the running back position. So I don't think Henderson or Akers or anybody who runs the ball, Malcolm freaking Brown, they're not going anywhere. Well, Goff's going to have to air it out. And the Rams defense is great, but they can be run on. We're talking.
Well, they have to air it out, though.
Yeah, and I don't see how they can really slow Kyler Murray down all the way. He's too good, and he's too hungry, and he's getting healthier by the week. He was terrible last week. It's a great rebound play. We're talking about 2 offenses that can put up huge points, and if both of them get hot, and you can't tell me that both of those defenses are going to be able to shut down a passing game. The Rams are more likely to, but Kyler Murray's special.
I'm gonna go with this, but I don't like where this is going. All right, let's go ahead and let's go single stack with Cooper Kupp. Mm-hmm. And I guess we got to find somebody from the other side. So who are you playing from Arizona? I mean, I don't like the DeAndre Hopkins. I hate Christian Kirk. Who are you going from Arizona? Like, who do you
I'm
think can
not.
score?
I'm not.
You just said it could be the highest scoring game of the week, and you said I'm not. I'm not going with anybody from the highest scoring game of the week from the other team.
Kenyon Drake.
Oh, my God, this is great. This is great. Up against
You're going off my hot take, though.
Oh
In
my
DFS,
God,
I'm looking
we're
for
pivoting. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna
Go
pivot.
ahead. Go
We're
ahead.
gonna pivot. We're gonna go with fucking
It was
Rivers.
a hot take, man.
That's too hot for me.
It's based on
By the way, if you
plausible,
guys
not
play this,
likely.
you guys will win millions and millions of dollars. And I
Watch
like
it
Jared
happen.
Goff.
Watch it
that's
happen.
what I'm saying. Like I'm about to lose millions of dollars because these hot takes they need to be had every once in a
Yeah.
while.
44 to 41. Cardinals pull out a tough one in overtime. Shit.
All right, let's go with the stack that we talked about earlier, one that we were both high on. Right, let's go with the Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
Let's go with the Michael Pittman. God damn it, Pittman. And damn you, Phil Rivers. You broke my heart. You guys broke my heart. All right.
How many times did he throw behind Pittman by like 2 yards? It is ugly.
I tell you, don't remind me. I've already dealt with the broken heart. Do you ever bring up the exes like conversations after that? All right. So Jonathan Taylor and Pittman. God damn it. 9 targets, none of which were actually on target. All right. So, we're gonna run it back with Houston. You talked about Brandon Cooks, and I love Brandon Cooks in this one. So very intelligent play there. So run it back with Cooks. Oops.
Yep.
Do you want to dive into Coulter or Kiki Kuti or Akins?
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna stay away from that.
It's too much value elsewhere.
Oh my God, you just talked about earlier how this could be a 4-game stack or something. All right, so let's go with Minnesota because you did talk about that one, right?
Uh-huh.
So we're looking at Dalvin Cook. We're looking at Nick Chubb. Who has a better game? I want to lean Nick Chubb.
Value-wise, Nick Chubb.
All right, let's throw that one in there. I like it. And we're sitting pretty. We're sitting at 5K. So when we talk about defense, right?
Yep.
You had
Who
something
you
that
like?
was, I don't know. You were off the chain with the one that you picked.
I said the Jets, but I'm playing a few.
Yeah.
None of them are that great, so that's kind of why I wanted to spend all the way down.
I mean, the Dolphins up against Miami. I know that it's the highest ranked one, but it's not outrageously
That's
priced, like 5,400.
It's way expensive. Way expensive.
You think for 4,400?
Yeah, that's like the most expensive defense we've even seen all season was the Steelers
No.
at 48.
Yeah, $400 more, but no,
Yeah,
we saw one
but
up to 5K, I think, or five.
48 was the Steelers against Cowboys, and that was the highest of the season.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word
for it. And that was a bust.
All right. We can't go. I kind of was tempted to actually go Colts up against Houston.
Colts. Colts is one of them.
We can't
go against our stack.
Yeah, no, it'd be counterproductive, but that is a good play. We had the Washington football team, which got postponed, and they've been one of my favorites the entire season. Man, what about Browns?
Browns is okay.
What about the Browns? Like, it's not a foregone conclusion. Like, if we have Nick Chubb and he's running the ball a ton, like this could be a very low scoring game, and that could be a very safe play. They might not have a touchdown return for, or interception return for a touchdown, but
we're talking about the Titans, who have the fewest turnovers in the NFL.
What about the Detroit Lions up against Chicago?
I like that one better.
I'm still kind of iffy on that.
It's still Trubisky. And even though he technically owns the Lions, I'm not betting on black there.
All right, hear me out. What about the Giants?
Great pick. I have a bunch of them.
Steph is probably wet if she actually was in this podcast right now listening.
Giants defense, yeah. I like it because we're seeing a lot of turnovers from Russell Wilson. The Giants have been underrated on defense all season. They
have been, man. They really have been. They've been actually very good. Now, I don't want to play Wayne Gallman. I don't want to do it. I'm not.
And I actually do think that Bradbury is going to shut DK down. You heard it here. DK Metcalf under 50 yards receiving this week.
Sorry, but Steph already said that he was going to get publicly neutered.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just saying. All right,
I agree.
All right, so we're sitting there pretty. Now we have the Giants D. I'm not going to put in Wayne Gallman. We had to pick a wide receiver tight end to flex. So this is an opportunity for us to actually dive into some of the players we didn't talk about. And I love Hawkinson, man. Like I think that Hawk is an absolute smash play, and he's going to give us an extra 55, I believe, no 6,500 for each and every other player, which gives us some top end options.
I love it.
Okay, Hawk's the play.
Yeah. Yep.
God, we don't even have to. Dude, with this lineup, we don't have to play any flyers. There are no flyers in this lineup.
Well, your flyer so far is Michael Pittman, who's pretty freaking awesome.
Or the Giants D. I mean,
yeah, but if the Giants D gets 0, it doesn't really kill you.
So now the thing is, do we go with the mid-range player, or should we go with like Justin Jefferson against Jacksonville, and then play a lower-end player? I mean, we have options like Anthony Miller, which you brought up. We have other guys like, I don't know, Marvin Jones Jr. up against Jalen Johnson. That's a smash play. Marvin Jones Jr. is probably the best player in the NFL. You know, what route are we going?
He's not as tall as Colin Johnson.
That's crazy. DJ Chark is below Marvin Jones Jr. It makes perfect sense, though, because Marvin Jones Jr. is the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, DJ Chark is a smash.
He's as good as it gets for that game.
We get 7,600. 7,600.
Give me James Robinson.
You got AJ Brown, Tyler Lockett.
If we go James Robinson, we can't go Chark.
Yeah, we can.
You want to do both of those guys?
That doesn't matter.
I mean, I love James Robinson.
Or AJ Brown if Denzel Ward is out. Which one do you want more? We got Lockett. We got AJ Brown. We've got James Robinson. We got Adam Thielen. Like, where are we going? I'm getting all excited. I love this lineup.
Thielen's touchdown upside is insane this week. Back off COVID. He's going to get back right with Cousins.
But he's
Cousins
old.
with Cousins. He's a touchdown machine.
But he could end up seeing hindrance from COVID because he's old. AJ Brown.
30. He's younger than both of us.
He's 31. Either way, he's still younger. Guys, if you all want to go check out Verding Global. Any t-shirt bought between now and the 11th is actually going to go towards a charity. And I got my birthday coming up, by the way. So when you guys go purchase something from Verding Global, make sure you guys go put in happy birthday into the notes. And we can actually donate some of your proceeds towards charity. Yeah, big time deal. But yeah, I'm about to turn 32. So I hope you guys all go support my cause and also go purchase t-shirts from verdingglobal.com. So AJ Brown, Tyler Lockett, James Robinson, Adam Thielen.
James Robinson.
All right, let's do it. I can't get behind Adam Thielen. He's just too old.
And the same price as James Robinson.
I'm probably faster than him, by the way, like at this point in my career.
I don't know. He's a lot taller than you, and his strides are longer. He could probably chop it up way better. He's quick too. 2,200
on that defense. That's crazy.
Well, you got 300 left. You might be able to upgrade your defense if you want.
No, 300. Come on. Let's just see who's 300. Who's available at 300 more?
25. Yeah, 25.
Vikings defense. That's it. Raiders, Vikings, Seahawks. No, I'm good. No, that's 25. That's way, yeah. I'm way
25. You got the Lions, Browns, Chargers. Chargers are out. So yeah, just Lions, Browns, Falcons, Patriots. Maybe Patriots. If they figure out a way to slow Herbert down. It is Belichick, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with this one. I like this lineup. I don't think the Giants will let us down tremendously, although they have a big chance to. But that's what tournaments are for.
The fighting Steffies are going to help us out.
Yes, they will. All right, guys. I appreciate you all for tuning in. This has been a blast. Bo, where can we find you?
You can find me at Bo_McBigTime. You can find my hot sauce and barbecue rub at hotboxbatch.com. You can find my merch at veridianglobal.com/collections/lifestyle. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All my stuff's on Twitter. I'm on Twitter way too much, so that's just where you can find all my rants and raves and snarky comments. Just look me up, add me, follow me, do all those things.
God, man, this sounds like a freaking WAP song.
Good Lord.
Follow me. Got me. Okay, this is too much. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for real. This has been a blast. It's something as to where like I have to let the reins go to people that have more time to actually dedicate to, the actual individual shows. So Bo over there, we have some big time plans in place. And Bo's somebody that I respect tremendously inside the DFS community. We will have some big time people coming in. We'll have some big time guests coming in. But Bo's primarily going to be the DFS guy that you guys need to go check out. So go check him out. I swear to God, if you keep, I'm trying to give you a promo shout out and you're making so much noise, I can't even hear myself. Damn it, Bo. At Bo_McBigTime. Make sure you guys go check him out. For real. He's worth the follow. He's phenomenal with his articles and he's really creepy when he makes his faces like he just did. Love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. And thank you all for letting us intervene with your fantasy football life. We're out.